Start with injuries. Looks like Will Campion's getting close to coming back.
Should be ready for full practice next week. So
he'll be out this weekend.
Yeah. Closer than he's been for a while.
Heading into St. Cloud here, how has the team kind of handled the post sweep of North Dakota, and have they kind of already moved on from that onto St. Cloud, or have you seen any hangover from that?
We'll find out on Friday, won't we, Matt?
Yeah,
we'll definitely find out. We'll see if it's the next part of the process. So you have a big emotional weekend, then you get 6 points against a very good team. How do you follow that up? And our challenge is to come back with a good 60-minute game and see what we can do.
Scott, were you personally able to sit back a little Sunday morning and just think, that was a pretty neat weekend?
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun for a lot of reasons. Number one, we got two wins and 6 points, but I like how our team played. I think that's, again, when you talk about the year, those are some good things. Those are things we can get better, absolutely. But there was a lot of good things that we did. I didn't feel like there was any really letdowns or kind of soft spots in there, maybe at the end of the second period when they got 2 goals. Other than that, I thought our team played with a high level of energy. I thought we were focused pretty much every shift, and the execution might not always been there, but I just like when our guys were into it there, and there wasn't any major lapses, and but it's a team you can't have lapses against, just like the team we're playing this weekend. So.
Well, not only that, if there was a little letdown in that late second period, you came right back from the first start of the third anyhow.
Well, the period helped. Ending the period helped. I'm not sure if it was another 5 minutes, 3 minutes, who knows what would have happened. But our guys regrouped a little bit, and maybe didn't have the best first shift of the period, but settled down and played. I think sometimes when teams score quickly like that, and you forget that maybe you still have a lead. I don't know what it is, but that's all I reminded them between the periods. We're still leading, so just go play a good period and clean up some things.
Also, as a coach, do you go into this week thinking you have to do something different to maintain where you're at and maintain that play? Or
you know what? Here's what I told our guys. I want them to enjoy being where they're at. You know what? It may last a while. It may not last long. Who knows? But enjoy it. And you know what? They've worked hard. They've had what it means is we've had a good first month. And it means that there's people that vote that like our team, whether they've seen them or not. So that's a good thing. I just want to make sure I like our team in that spot, hopefully at the end of the year. But there's nothing wrong with enjoying it. But to go to Matt's question, we got to see how we handle that.
You want every Sunday morning to be the same feeling?
No, I love winning. It's not better than winning. Waking up on the next morning with a win. It's a lot better than the alternative.
Scott, 5 weeks into the season here now, you mentioned, just wrapped up the first month. What areas do you really like about this team right now? Maybe some areas where they might be exceeding your expectations.
Well, I like the balance. We're getting some balanced scoring. I mean, obviously we got a couple guys that haven't done that yet that maybe we expected to, but they're doing other things. But I think we've shown some character in some games where we were down goals. I liked how we've played when we have had the lead. I thought our special teams took a big step last weekend, both of them. So hopefully that's a good sign. Face-offs were better. There's a lot of things, but there's some intangibles this team has, I think, that maybe some others haven't. And hopefully that continues to grow through the year.
What areas would you like to see some improvement?
Everywhere. I think offensively, I think we, need to continue to, possess the puck a little bit more offensively. I think North Dakota did a really good job Saturday in the first period, not giving us room, and I didn't, when you get 2 shots on net, that's kind of uncharacteristic for our team, So, possessing, getting more pucks, obviously we talked before about burying opportunities. I want to see our penalty kill continue to get better, which I think they took a big step last weekend, like I said. Power play, face-offs. There's a lot of facets of the game that we've seen some good things, but it's about developing consistency in those areas. And now that we've played, 8, 9 games, hopefully this month we're going to be a little more consistent in those areas. But
it seemed like your goaltender played with. It just seemed like he played with more confidence Saturday night after Friday's game. I mean, he worked hard to get that spot back, and he just seemed more sure of himself in that game.
Well, he's gone through. He started. The first game he got a shutout. The second game he battled through for us to win 4-3. Third game, maybe didn't go the way any of us wanted it to start. And it certainly wasn't just Hunter's fault. I mean, there's a lot of penalties, and so it was a good opportunity to maybe get him out of there and get somebody else in there. And I like the fact that he's stayed with it. And he's probably down maybe the first week because he got pulled. Like most goalies, they're competitive guys, and stayed. He worked hard, had a good attitude, and got ready to play a good period against the U.S. team. And obviously had a great weekend for us. So it's good. It's good. It's what you need out of players. You need that out of goalies, forwards, D. To have a rough game to bounce back the next time and take advantage of the opportunity. Have a good game.
He said he focused extra hard all week leading up to it because he wanted to play so bad. Did you notice that in practice? You just notice where the puck doesn't.
No, not really. I mean, I think all of them, competed hard. I mean, that's. Obviously we sat down as a staff. We talked with Brant. I mean, Brant works with those guys, so we got some good feedback, and I made the decision during the week. Easy to go with Hunter.
What would you say the attitude of the team is right now, given the success of the first month?
Which one? The first month?
Yeah, after the first month.
I think it's good. I think. Obviously, look, they're having fun. I mean, they should have fun. I mean, they've done some good things, but overall, I think it's enjoy. You got to learn to turn the page quick because you get right back into the fire. I mean, the month is there. I mean, now we got to focus on kind of this month, which is 6 games in our league, and then there's another break, and then there's 4 games. So there's kind of segments that we're looking at here, and I think they should be excited about their first month. You know what? Played some good teams. We got some wins. Saw some things that this team's capable of. Obviously, saw some areas that we need to work on. As long as they're willing to work on those, get better. I mean, we'll be fine.
What stands out to you about St. Cloud this weekend?
Well, I think it's a different group of faces, but I think the makeup of their team is the same. Except for maybe the same thing we were going through is trying to find a number 1 goaltender, and their back end I think is arguably one of the best in the league, if not the country. With some of the defensemen they have, they've got skill up front. They lost some firepower, but they replaced it with some young skill. Power play is good again. Might not show in 20%, but it's dangerous, and they use the big rink well. So it's just probably a little bit of some different faces in their lineup, but they're going to certainly play the same way, and they're also riding a 4-game winning streak after getting swept at home, or swept the first weekend by Minnesota State. So they probably feel a little better about themselves too. So I think it's going to be a good weekend. We've played well in the big rink. Hopefully we can continue that, and it should be a great series.
We've talked all the years about how well you've played, in my opinion, on the Mariucci rink. Do you have the same feeling of use of space that you have at St. Cloud that you have at Mariucci?
It doesn't seem as big to me, so maybe that's good. I don't know what it is. I mean, we've always had good skating teams, so obviously that helps us on a big rink. I think over the course of 120 minutes on a weekend, the teams that play on the big rink use it better than probably any teams that come in there that are not used to playing on it. So you're going to see some of that, but the game's still the game, John. When you get on there, there's a little more space, but it's still the game. And
like went out on Kelly Lake up in Gibby with the kid?
No, we never went up there.
Oh, okay.
We stayed in the Brooklyn courthouse area. too much trouble up in Kelly Lake.
You always had
Penalty
boards.
kill, Scott. Obviously, that was a highlight of the weekend with the 2 shorthanded goals on Saturday. Were they doing something different, or just things were kind of falling into place against a good power play?
No, we zeroed in on a couple of things that we need to get better at through the first part of the year, and we spent a couple days last week working on it. And there wasn't major stuff. It was just some changes. I still think North Dakota got us running a little bit out of position at times, which led to those big blocks. I mean, thank God Kotz is a big man, and Seuss and all those guys, because they take up a lot of space. But I thought we just did some good things. We worked on getting pucks out. Like, I thought that was a weakness that we've had. Just doing a lot better communication, positioning of guys, so we can make the simple play to somebody to get it out versus the backhand hard play. Just little things like that. Some things with our forecheck, within our structure, just some reads, and just trusting each other. I think that's a big part of it. We weren't really trusting each other, so it led to bigger gaps or some indecision. So just those things come with playing, and the more you do it. And so we really kind of hit home those things, especially last week. But we've been talking about them, but we really kind of hammered that home last week, and hopefully our guys continue.
It's on page 14C of the Scott Sandelin coaching guide, how you get a 3-on-2 out of a short-handed situation.
Give credit to our players. It has nothing to do with me, but I like it. I like the fact we scored a couple of short-handed goals. It was good.
Scott, in terms of time, taking away time and space, what adjustments need to be made on both the forecheck and in the D?
On the bigger rink? You know what? I think I don't think your mentality should change when you get good puck placement, especially on a forecheck. I mean, you got to have good F1 pressure, really hard, and depending on what they're doing in those situations, our other 2 forwards are reads, so that doesn't change. It's when you get against them, it's when you get a long way away, or same thing in the neutral zone when you're forechecking. Again, if it's a really deep regroup inside the top of the circles, they have a tendency to get you spread out, and you got to be patient. You got to stay above people, and you just got to kind of take your medicine. And I think you can frustrate them that way too. But they use the big rink well, and I think you can get so aggressive sometimes that they can beat you with one pass, and that's not what we want. They're a good transition team with skilled forwards, and we've got to be a little bit smarter, a little more patient with both our forecheck, neutral zone, things like that.
Do you generally play for the middle out on a bigger rink more so than on a small rink?
Middle out? Well, you always protect the dots in any rink. No different. You know what? Prefer to keep them outside. It's a little farther away from the rink. Shots are a little farther out on Olympic size rink, but I think the same concepts. You protect the dots and work from there.